Dr. Ranganathan and Kamru Chaudhary will be here to square off on that. It's an important debate, viewers. And it is right now taking place in the state of Karnataka. A Congress MLA in the Karnataka Assembly has proposed that the state government consider steps to rename the Mysuru airport after Tipu Sultan. Prasad Abbayya, the Congress MLA, came up with a proposal during a discussion about the state government writing to the centre to change the names of airports. The proposal has drawn howls of protest from Hindu groups and the BJP. For many of them, Tipu Sultan was a bigot who was given to excesses against Hindus. They claim that naming the Mysuru airport after Tipu Sultan is to put intolerance on a pedestal, which the Congress is trying to do in order to appease minority voters. That's the charge. Listen in.
ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಮಾನ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್
ಈ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿ
ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಈ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
Now, viewers, let's open this up. Let's go straight across to Dr. Ranganathan and Kamru Chaudhary. This is going to be a straight face-off. We're going to get into the meat of this issue. Dr. Ranganathan, is there a reason to worry about the fact that Tipu Sultan is going to be put on a pedestal?
Rahul, you asked me a question beginning with "is there?" Let me ask a rhetorical question. Is there a Hitler Road in Tel Aviv? Is there? We are a nation that has glorified self-loathing and self-flagellation in equal measure to astronomical levels. We know more about the Mughals than about Shivaji, Rana Pratap and Prithviraj Chauhan. Why? Because history that is written by the victors is peddled by the vanquished, and Rahul, we have been vanquished. This is a country where people still go and pray at the grave of Aurangzeb, who beheaded Guru Tegh Bahadur, decapitated Sambhaji Maharaj, demolished Kashi Vishwanath and murdered 4.6 million Hindus. This is a country where Guru Arjan Dev was forced to sit on a hot plate and literally cooked alive by the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. And what do? We immortalize Jahangir in our films as the affable, feather-toying, romantic Salim. This is a country where a celebrated historian, Guha, did not want Delhi roads to be named after Chhatrapati Shivaji, the man who birthed an empire stretching from Peshawar to Plassey, because, in Guha's words, he was, quote, little-known regional figure and a feudal lord who endorsed caste hierarchies, unquote. This is a country where we eulogize invaders who over centuries perpetrated the largest genocide in human history and murdered 80 million of us. A figure arrived at authoritatively by historians K.S. Lal and Will Durant. This is a country, Rahul, where celebrities take pride in naming their son Taimur, where Akhilesh Yadav takes pride in having the nickname Tipu. Our history has been written by those who hated Hindus, Hinduism and Hindustan. But our history is being written by those who hate Hindus, Hinduism and Hindustan. There are hundreds of examples, but just one would suffice. Just give me a minute. Tipu Sultan. Read his manifesto, Rahul, written in his own words. It is a terrifying proclamation calling for all Muslims to come together to wage jihad. Unquote and quote. Annihilation of the infidels is a sacred duty, he writes. The Hindus of Coorg suffered a particularly brutal onslaught. Murders, tortured, forced conversions, even dead Hindus were converted, even dead Hindus. Tipu destroyed more than 800 temples, 27 churches, captured 60,000 Christians, converted 30,000, killed thousands. 151 Chronicles. Lewis Rice and R.D. Palsolkar believe the figure could be as high as 8,000 temples. Descendants of Mandya Iyengar do not celebrate Diwali till this day. Ever wondered why? Tipu butchered them on that day. Read Bartolomeo's personal accounts of Tipu Sultan butchery in Calicut. Men, women and children were paraded naked and trampled by elephants. And yet we call Tipu a symbol of communal harmony. We cheer when the statues of evil racist King Leopold is demolished in Belgium. But we celebrate Tipu Jayanti because tyrants who murder Hindus are not tyrants but heroes. Praising Tipu, Rahul, is like praising King Leopold for building roads and ports in Congo, balancing out ivory and rubber trade and a million murders. There is no difference between Tipu Sultan apologies and Holocaust deniers, and yet there exist in their millions these people. In years to come, I am sure Yaqub Memon's grave would become as popular at worshipping place as Tipu's is today. Visited and prayed by politicians and film stars. 75 years have gone, Rahul, just 20 seconds. But we still haven't got independence from brainwashing and servitude. And that is why, in years to come, Yaqub Memon will be celebrated just like Tipu is. After all, Tens of thousands attended his funeral, tears flowing down their cheeks, didn't they? People will come and pray at his grave, seek his blessings, and who knows? We may even rename the Chhatrapati Shivaji Mumbai Airport as Yaqub Memon Airport.
Well, let me ask Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. In America, the left comes together to pull down statues of Confederate politicians and generals because they were slave owners. They pull them off their pedestals. Here, the left, sir, places alleged bigots on top of pedestals. And this is happening in a Congress government in Karnataka. This is bizarre, isn't it, sir?
I don't think so. Anything is bizarre. A particular MLA has suggested on the floor of the assembly to rename Mysuru airport as the Tipu Sultan airport. Don't we have a Veer Savarkar airport out here in India? Don't we have a Narendra Modi stadium out here in India? The problem lies in not naming the airport as a Mysuru airport as Tipu Sultan airport. The problem does not rise. It's more generic and more deep-rooted than you would like to answer. Because if it was not deep-rooted or the hate for the Muslims or anything resembling Muslims, then Aligarh's name would not have been changed. The people who have changing the Aligarh's name or trying to change Hyderabad to Bhagyanagar or Aurangabad to something else, these are all generic in their hate for a particular community in India. What Tipu Sultan meant to lots of Indians out here is the freedom struggle history that you need to revisit. It's not that Veer Savarkar has been named in the history books, but he was more of a coward than we think of Tipu Sultan, who fought the British valiantly.
Okay.
And he did not write 6 apology letters to the Britishers. That's the difference between them. Though I'm not equalizing out here Tipu Sultan out here.
Oh, really?
But then your comparison
Then why are you
Tipu
putting him
Sultan
on
as a tyrant.
Okay.
No,
so one
you are
second.
comparing Tipu
Can I
Sultan-
ask you a simple question, sir?
You don't
Why-
permit me
why-
the time
no,
to explain my point,
No,
sir.
you have
Thank
explained. You have explained yourself. You have drawn a comparison between Tipu Sultan and Narendra Modi. I'll come to that. But I just want to ask you a simple question. You say this renaming business is born out of a hatred. So why was Constantinople renamed, sir? That was named after Constantine. And in Turkey today, it's no longer called Constantinople, as you know.
You know-
So can I ask you, sir, was that born out of a hatred for Christians and the followers of Constantine? Simple question.
Rahul, what
Do
prompted
Muslims
the
hate
chief,
Christians?
No, what prompted the chief minister
No,
of
no, I'm
Assam
asking
to
you, sir.
change
You're not
his-
answering
No,
my question. You're here to
I'm
answer a question.
asking you.
You drew an
I'm
analogy.
asking-
I'm
I'm
asking you a
answering.
simple question.
I'm-
Did
your
Muslims
style-
change the name of Constantinople because they are fundamentally, from here, as you say, intrinsically, enemies of Christians? Simple question.
I never said that.
You said that,
I
sir.
asked you-
You said
no.
that why has
When
why has the name of Aligarh been changed? You said why is the name of Hyderabad purportedly going to be changed? Because there are certain Hindus here who have a hatred, you said, for Muslims. So I'm asking you, just go back in time. Why was the name Constantinople changed? Why was it dropped by Muslims?
Let us talk about what's happening
No,
within
now
the
let us
boundaries
talk
of
about-
India.
You see, this is
no,
the problem,
you
viewers.
can't compare this.
No,
Now,
of course
this
you
is
can.
the problem
Of course
with you
you can.
people.
Of course
you want
you
to
can.
listen
Then
to
I'll
people,
ask you-
listen
then
to
I'll ask
people
you-
who suits your
No, no, no,
agenda
this is not-
and
this
who
is not
suits
fair.
your narrative.
I'm only asking
This
you.
is,
Okay.
Rahul,
Now,
this is
viewers, one
absolutely
second.
not fair.
He drew
when
a
I just
comparison.
ask you a
He drew a
simple
comparison
question,
between
Chief
Narendra
Minister
Modi-
of Assam
One second.
has changed his bio from Bharat, from India to Bharat just because the opposition bloc has changed
don't you know
it
what the
into
Constitution
India.
says? Article 1 of the Constitution. India that
India
is
is a
Bharat.
union of states.
India that is Bharat. No, one second.
India is
no,
a
please,
union
sir.
of
So
states
then
that is
you,
Bharat.
So you can't call.
That's another point.
So you no,
the
hang on.
point is that
what
the
does
hatred
in Hindi?
is deep-rooted
in
out
Hindi,
here.
the government of
You
India is
go on
called
changing-
Bharat
No.
Sarkar. You see,
Rahul,
sir,
let me
don't
finish.
compare
No,
apples
let
and
me finish.
oranges.
Your
Let's go
opening
like for like.
commentary- No,
My
I'm
opening
coming to
commentary?
you. Just, I'm
Okay.
coming. I'm
Okay,
coming.
come.
The point out here is that
Come.
the vilification of the present-day Muslims, their religious practices, customs,
Right.
and everything is being frowned upon
Okay.
by a section
Just-
of the
just draw-
majority
just hold
community.
your thoughts.
Just
Fair
to
enough. Fair
uphold
enough.
their Hindutva
Okay,
agenda.
let me tell you, viewers.
Now,
look
this
at Tipu's
opposing
record.
Tipu Sultan
You know,
is also
Dr.
part of the
Ranganathan,
majoritarian
Dr.
Hindutva
Ranganathan
agenda.
tiptoed around Tipu's record. Let me just read out some facts for you, viewers. He destroyed temples after conquest in Malabar, Mangalore, and Coorg. Historians estimate destruction of 8,000 temples in South India during his reign. Portuguese missionaries wrote that he killed Hindu captives by tying them to legs of elephants. He ordered forced circumcision and conversion of captive enemy combatants. He was no inclusive figure. Boasted conquest of infidels. Excuse me, let me just finish, sir, please. Look, you can take me apart if my facts are wrong. These are absolute, detailed, documented facts. He described himself as a Ghazi or holy warrior. And today, Dr. Ranganathan, he is being compared to Narendra Modi. Can you explain where this is coming from? And if this comparison holds?
This comes from, as I said, acute hatred for Hinduism and Hindus and Hindu phobia. Because I want to ask just two very simple questions to Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, my dear friend. Number one, Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, I'm sure you know about Ashfaqullah Khan. I want to ask a simple question. Was he a freedom fighter or was he a coward?
Obviously, he was a freedom fighter. Why?
Yeah.
Why he should be a coward? Do you remember
you
Shama
also
Prasad
know-
Mukherjee? Do you remember Shama Prasad Mukherjee, your ideologue, who worked for the partition of Bengal?
Will you not interrupt
We have
me?
got cowards on the right-wing side.
My
And you
God,
will
Rahul,
not
can you
name it.
please? I know
I'm
he's
not
so
debating
rapid
out
that he
here
won't even let me
whether
finish.
Tipu Sultan was great or not.
Will you please
Somebody has
wait?
proposed the name of Mysore Airport.
You must
Whether
allow me
it
to
is
finish.
accepted or not, that's a
Let him at
different
least
issue.
finish, Kamru Chaudhary. You're jumping down his throat. He never interrupted you when you spoke.
Okay.
He didn't
No,
even
He
open
should,
his mouth.
he should be asking a question as simple as that.
But
through
let
you.
him finish
He
his
doesn't
question.
have the facts.
Let me finish. Are bhaiya, don't get rattled. You said Ashfaqullah Khan was a freedom fighter, not a coward. The fact is he also submitted a mercy petition. Did you know that? Ata pata hota nahi hai, chale aate hain. Now according to you, anybody who submits a mercy petition is a coward. So say it on national television that Ashfaqullah Khan was a coward. Say it. Say it.
Can I reply? Can I reply?
Reply now.
This is not a session for a Q&A out here.
Oh.
Just tell me
Now
one thing.
it's not a Q&A.
All those
Now it's
no,
not a Q&A.
no,
Rahul, did you
Rana-
see? Did you see
Ranganathan,
how
no,
perfidious?
Anand Ranganathan
Why
ji,
don't
one
you say
simple
Ashfaqullah
fact I
Khan
want
was a
to say.
coward? Say it.
When
Because Veer Savarkar
Britishers
submitted a
were
mercy petition,
opposed
he
by
was a
the
coward.
entire country,
So Ashfaqullah
the
Khan
British
also
rule
was a
was
coward.
opposed by the entire country, then
Rahul,
the
you know, this is
right-wing
the- this is
RSS
the problem with
sided
such
with the
people.
Britishers.
It is embarrassing
Now,
for a
is it so
scientist to teach
that
them
since
history?
Tipu fought the Britishers, now the right-wingers want to
Was
oppose Tipu?
Ashfaqullah Khan a
Is this
coward
the
or
fact?
not?
Okay.
Is
Was
this a
Ashfaqullah
fact?
Khan a
Viewers.
coward?
Is this a fact? You want to oppose Tipu
Viewers.
because Tipu opposed the British?
Okay,
Your friend.
Okay. Now, listen to me, viewers. Yeah, this is not a Q&A, he
Shocking.
says. This is not
Shocking
a
that he
Q&A.
believes Ashfaqullah Khan is a coward. It is
Okay.
shocking that Kamruji believes.
Okay, this
that
is not a
Ashfaqullah Khan is
Q&A.
coward.
This is not a
Shocking.
Q&A, but this is also not an accuse and A. This is not an accuse and A either. Okay?
Kamruji, पढ़ लीजिए थोड़ा.
So, मैं एक दो चीजें बोलना चाहता हूँ. I just want to say a couple of things, viewers. You see, one parallel was drawn about how here everyone is on a renaming spree because they hate. There is an Islamophobia. They hate Muslims. So I ask viewers a simple question tonight. Why was the name of the city, the great city Constantinople, changed? Was it because Muslims hate Christians? Just take a like for a like. I don't get an answer. I'm accused
Mathura
of...
was renamed Islamabad.
Exactly. I'm accused of basically turning this conversation in a different direction. Then I say that the left in this country argues for bringing down the statues of Confederate generals and other politicians in the American South because, viewers, Black Lives Matter, because they were slave owners. Here the left, however, wants to put Tipu on a pedestal. And who is Tipu? I've just talked to you about his record, viewers. So you will put a divisive figure on a pedestal in India, you'll pull them down abroad. I don't get an answer. I'm accused of, I don't know, whataboutery. I don't know. There is no way you can have a debate. Then Dr. Ranganathan asks, because we are told that certain figures of our history are cowards. So Dr. Ranganathan asks, was Ashfaqullah Khan a coward or a freedom fighter? We get the response that he's a freedom fighter. Then he asks, well, he also wrote a mercy petition like Veer Savarkar did. If Veer Savarkar is a coward, then should Ashfaqullah Khan also be a coward? You don't get a response, you get a tirade. So I don't know where to begin and where to end. The fact of the matter, viewers, is this, that if there are people who are upset at a decision, a government must listen to those people. Because if it stops listening to the people, then what does it become? It becomes an authoritarian regime. It's very simple. It's very simple. If there are masses of people who have a problem with Tipu, do you want to put that name up there on a pedestal and name airports after them, etc., only to poke a finger in someone else's eye? Because I think that is intolerance. I'll leave it at this, viewers. I'll let you think about it deeply. I'll take a short break. When we return, viewers, huge big twist in the story of the breach in Parliament. Don't go away.